What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Salty Runback, here to be your weekly intake of North American Developmental League of Legends. We are coming at you live from the James B. Hunt Library at North Carolina State University in the Esports and Gaming Center. And we are here the day before, the night before the CLOL Grand Finals. We'll be working the show. You got to tune in at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.
It's going to be an early morning, baby.
Twitch.tv/UniEsportsNA or Twitch.tv/Riot Games. Should be very exciting. My name is Grapes. This is Hawk. In person once again. How are you doing?
It's good to be back. I'm doing fantastic. It's kind of been like a nice day off for us. We got to record a little bit of content. We just talked to Sajed, coming soon in this episode. Make sure you stay tuned. But the stream is tomorrow, the big match that we've been waiting basically all year for. I mean, this is always my favorite event of the year. Look at this. Ole Miss Maryville. This is what it's all about. I don't care that it's early tomorrow. Everybody better be tuning in. We're waking up at 6 a.m. So people on the East Coast can do it too. Or sorry, the West Coast. West Coast can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, everyone here at NC State's been great. We did rehearsal yesterday. The way the stage is set up,
great.
The way the sets are set up. We're really excited about how things are going to be going. So big shout out to Evolve, to Pasella, to everybody over here with the Wolfpack. Who's making this weekend really, really fun. And we got to talk to a lot of the players, a lot of the coaches. Everyone seems really excited. And I think the cool thing about this is that both teams are confident, but they also probably aren't expecting just a 3-0 either way. They know that this is going to be a close match, even from talking to Sajed.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like both teams are kind of understanding that there's going to be variance in this series, both from like Maryville, like they've still had the roster swaps going on, and then also just, the toughness of travel and all that. I do think it's really funny talking to Sajed. He's like, I'm not going to give Ole Miss a game because I think they're good. I'm going to give them a game because I think we could mess one up, which I thought was really funny. Not to spoil the interview. Don't worry. There's plenty of other good things in there. But, and then of course, Ole Miss, they're feeling very confident, which, I mean, they're undoubtedly the underdogs, but Maryville, they're always the favorites, and it has not exactly worked out for them in the last few years. So we'll find out by a day from now. We'll know if the curse of the Toscabino has been broken or not. But in the meantime, make sure you check us out on all of our social media at Salty Runback NA, including our Patreon. If you want to subscribe there and support us, it helps us out immensely, and we appreciate every single person that's really joined the community in the last few months, including whether or not they're with our Patreon, our Discord community, which has been banging for a couple months now during CLOL season, NACL season, LTA season. I hope MSI hopefully soon. We got some chatter in there, so be sure to check all those things out. I mean, it's so good to be back. I feel like, look, production value wise, this episode not as impressive as like our last live episode in Boise, but I'm pretty happy with what we've been able to put together here. We recorded in a different part of the library with Sajed. I was like, Grapes, what if we do a bit of like an around the world setup,
Hey, audio pending. This is probably our best in-person, manual produced episode yet.
Now, the audio is Ben Hawkins' lav mic provided, so
we'll see.
It might be a little shit.
We're not sure yet.
But it might be, it might be okay. We'll find out.
Hopefully they're hearing what we're saying in the first place,
Hopefully,
right? So.
I'm quite confident they are hearing the words that are coming out of our mouths.
Okay, that's good.
And so that's important.
Make sure you like and subscribe. We definitely have the interview with Sajed. You could take a look at the timestamps to see if we got anybody from Ole Miss. We're going to try to do so between the time that this goes live and between then and when we're recording right now. Might be a little tight.
Also drop like a 5 a.m. Ole Miss interview tomorrow as well.
And it could be on the Patreon. Could be on
somewhere.
Yeah. We'll keep you guys posted on that. But on that note, let's head on over with our interview with Maryville University's bot laner, Sajed. We are here in the James B. Hunt Library with the 80 carry of Maryville University, a.k.a. Dark Zero Dragonsteel, a.k.a. a lot of other things. Sajed, welcome to the show. Second time on the show, this time in person. It's good to see you.
Good to see you guys, too. It's always nice being here.
Yeah. Oh, you come to Raleigh a lot? Come here often?
Yeah, no, this is my first time here. I've been on the show.
You're a repeat guest. Only a few people can say that now.
Yeah, it's an honor.
What's your favorite part about Salty Runback? 3, 2, 1, go.
Honestly, just the tier list you guys do. That's about all I watch, to be honest. Like you guys takes on teams and then the tier list.
Everyone tells us it gives them fuel.
And then you can skip to the end and you just see where you all are.
Yeah, honestly, Niles also kind of banned you guys from the lab.
Nice. Not allowed to have it on?
Well, it's just because you know, your opinion may like hurt some of people that I won't mention, and you know, he doesn't want our players to get triggered by like outside,
like bad takes.
Not bad takes. It's just like
you can say it, it's fine.
no, just people like not in our space
commentary
telling them how good they are.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I
Is
get
this your
that.
first ever LAN, or have you ever been to one before, like to play?
We went for NACE finals.
Right. I
end
mean,
of April.
Yeah, you're right. Before that, and,
And
you
then-
played in LCS, and that's such a horrible question.
We had,
Because you were in LA with me for an NACL finals
yeah,
recently,
that NACL finals.
and
Yeah,
we chatted a bit
almost.
then. Dude, I mean, it is crazy though, because you do bring up like, I think as far as players go, Sajed, you are actually, I think fair to say, like fairly new to the space. You came up like
Yeah.
pretty fast in like 2023, but you've actually accomplished quite a bit already, and now this has been your first year on Maryville. I guess, like, has there been a specific part about being in this program that's been like particularly special to you, or
The Maryville program?
yeah?
Honestly, I say this all the time when people ask me like stuff like that about Maryville, is just the atmosphere and the environment you're in is mainly focused on making you just a better person. So like waking up early, being able to socialize and communicate with people, and then kind of working on yourself as a person. And I think personally, after like COVID hit, I think that's what a lot of people need, especially league players.
Yeah.
So, I mean that just helped me a lot. I'm sure it helped a lot of other people who went to Maryville. They'll say similar things, I'm sure.
Did you always know you wanted to go to college to play league, or is this just like kind of a symptom of, oh, Maryville's just like a great place to do esports, and so I'm gonna decide to come here?
Yeah, I can say that back home I have a full ride to a local school anyways, local
nice.
college.
Oh, wow.
So honestly, in this off season, I was thinking like, I'm gonna try to join the best team I can, and I was willing to see like, if I get an offer that's probably a little bit worse than the Maryville team, but I get to stay at home, I would have taken it. But it was just the off season was just very bad. I would say like, there was only 6 or 7 NACL teams, and then building your own OQ roster just didn't seem like it was really worth the investment, unless like there was that whole nightmare thing, but that obviously fell through.
Yeah,
So.
you picked well then.
So yeah, I was like, all right, Maryville, I could come here for, you know, a year and then just work on myself. It's probably the best team that I'll be able to get, and then try to go LCS from there.
You played
okay.
against them a lot last year, so now you get to be on their team this time around.
Well,
right?
we didn't really play that much last year. Like, we played twice in spring and then once in summer.
That's fair. I feel like, I guess, just like the rivalry of.
I feel like we
Yeah.
thought of it as a
Finals.
rivalry just because, especially in spring split, you guys were like the two best teams, you know. But I guess, you know, Fly Challenger last year. How would you say this season for you has compared since 2023? Like, do you feel like, outside of just as a person within the program, is there a specific part of your gameplay that you feel like you've gotten to really refine and showcase over the past year?
Yeah, I can answer that in a second. I'll just go to the previous
yeah.
point. Is we played against Maryville a lot on the first iteration of Lit.
True.
Every single
Okay.
time.
Oh, true.
You guys ran into Lit every time.
Dude.
It was,
Yeah,
like, really
every single
unlucky.
time we lost, it was to Maryville.
Yeah.
And like we were just
I
five
forgot
like noobs.
about that.
We were just 5 noobs, and they're like
That
they're
was,
sweating.
that was the first Lit team with like conveying and munching,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Libacious.
That was like a for fun team, and then we're getting like the sweat balls, like
yeah, then
every
you bring
single
in Dragoon,
time.
and then all of a sudden you gotta lock in, right?
yeah. Then we like stepped it up a bit, and then I got banned. But
That is true.
yeah, and then to answer your question, I'd say I think I improved more from like when I joined MU to now than I did like the whole year I was with FlyQuest. I think in FlyQuest I was kind of just there, honestly. Like there was very little focus towards me, even in like review or like how to improve. I was kind of just on my own, and I'll say that Chime was, honestly, I loved playing with him. He's a great guy. He's a great player. But one of the things that he was the weakest on was just playing with a rookie AD carry, I'd say. Because if you look
interesting.
at Chime, he always played like Wild Turtle, Stixay, so obviously he was the one learning the most. So I'd say that was like a weakness that we kind of had. It was very hard for him to try to teach me things. And then the team itself wouldn't really like try to put any emphasis on teaching me. It was just like,
Interesting.
if you go even, that's considered winning lane. And that was kind of like the mindset I had that entire year.
So
That
even
is-
though it was like supposed to be a development roster,
Yeah,
it's
because
the second team of LTA.
we would have said that like, oh, like it's so cool that they paired you with like veteran Chime. But
Yeah.
I guess it's an interesting point that you bring up because some players over the course of their careers, though, they haven't had to be the veteran presence before, and so
Yeah.
that's really interesting to me.
And so you'd say being here at Maryville, you learn more because you're in that in-person environment, or is it also a factors of like Niles being here and like having some other people like helping you out in the bottom, like just personally as well as a team?
Yeah, I'd say the in-person definitely helps. I think you could be a lot more open with your teammates, and obviously there's a lot less of like, I'd say like in the league space, everyone's kind of fake to each other, especially like your teammates.
Yeah.
And there's a lot less of that. I think we're all pretty like real with each other and what we need to work on. And I'll say when I first got here, Zamudo really helped me. He taught me a lot of things, especially in the mid game. And then that was because of Draxer, who was working with him. And then Draxer started working with me probably around like April.
Okay.
So yeah, that definitely helped me like understand the game better and like implement it into my gameplay. Yeah.
And like you, Shimmer, Toasty, kind of Zamudo, right? Also like kind of joined the same year. Like Zamudo joined in the summer, but technically like started school same year. Do you guys like find yourself like hanging out a lot as like the first years, or is it kind of just everybody kind of hanging out together?
Okay, it's funny you say that because in Maryville there's like 2 different living places. There's a place where like the first years go, which is like the dorms.
Yeah.
And technically this is my 3rd year of college.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm in like the apartments, and the people you mentioned, Zamudo, Shimmer, Toasty, all in the dorms. And then what's funny is Zyko's also in there.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That guy's been there forever.
He's been in college for so long, yeah.
But I think something they messed up like an application or something. So he's just living.
Dang.
So yeah, they definitely hang out more because they
Zyko
live
like
together.
the dad of all of them, like telling what to like.
Or the bad influence.
Well, I can't say much, but he definitely is not.
On the topic,
we can leave it
Yeah,
there.
on the
we can leave
topic
it
of Zyko, how has it been laning with him this year? You know, he's now famously said he wants to be remembered for winning 0 CLOL titles.
Yeah, honestly, with the rain that just hit me in Zamudo, like, I don't know, you might be famous for that, but who knows how we'll wake up tomorrow from that storm we just went through. But yeah, I liked laning with him. Honestly, I thought it was honestly, it was a similar experience with Chime that I had with Zyko. Obviously, I think Zyko, his mechanics are quite good, and then it was just the same thing, like, Scary Jerry had a lot of lane focus, and so a lot of their success 2v2 was definitely more on Jerry.
It's definitely something we noticed as well when watching. Like,
Yeah, so
this year.
I mean, when I first came here, the impression I had and the thing I was told was that Zyko was like a very dominant laner, and he was like pretty vocal. Then I was playing with him, I was like complete like 180. That was just, he was not very vocal at all, but I mean, he still was a dominant laner. And then yeah, that's something we worked on a lot. I think our laning got a lot better in the last like 2 months. I think we're definitely like a pretty solid 2v2 duo. Yeah, I like playing with him so far.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like last year you were always on the Jinx, like playing team fights, right? But now, like, you guys played Lucian Milio a bunch of times, like in NACL. So
Yeah.
you guys are maybe focusing more on that, or is that just kind of how the meta's going right now?
Honestly, I can tell you how this Lucian started in NACL because like we're scrimming FlyQuest, we were kind of getting smoked. I got tilted, so I was like, let's just lock in like a Lucian lane, Lucian Milio, and then we completely like ran them.
Oh, really? Okay. Like this is like FlyQuest LTA?
Yeah, this was like earlier in the split.
Not bad.
And I was like, all right, maybe this. And this is right when Electrocute got buffed, and I was just like testing it because I was like tilted. I just wanted to try something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this actually seems busted. And I didn't even know that like you just dash in with the shield and it procs Electrocute. Like,
Yeah, because you get like the proc from the damage.
Yeah, it made literally like no sense to me. That's how it worked. It was a completely like busted combo. So then we scrimmed Luminosity and CCG right after that, like the days after that, and like literally they just paused the game. I think this was like CCG. They just paused the game at like 4 minutes and just FF'd because that combo was just like ridiculous and they had no clue that's how it worked.
Interesting.
And they played it, and then Luminosity did the same thing. We beat them with it, and then the next game they played it. So I'm sure that's how Lucian was brought in NACL because those guys, like, we scrimmed them quite a bit before. They had 0 Lucian Pro, no one was playing it. And everyone started going Electrocute, maxing W. Like, that's what I was doing because I was like, you shouldn't be maxing your E second, right? That makes no sense. But yeah, I feel like that's how it came up in NACL. And then we just played it. I just thought it was like busted, no skill combo.
It looks like that sometimes.
Speaking of the Lucian too, you know, your opponents tomorrow, Shogo and Rhino played 4 straight games of Lucian Nami in lower finals against Winthrop, and you guys just played a crazy series. I know it's a different patch, but I mean, what are your thoughts kind of going in?
I could talk about the Lucian you're talking about. I think it's completely different in like fearless and non-fearless. CLOL being not fearless, because you can see in the series yesterday, LG they just picked a game 1 mainly to deny it from us.
Yeah.
Because you know when we scrimmed them, they didn't really have that much success against it, and honestly, when they played it, it was pretty solid. But I don't really see them kind of as a Lucian team, just the way they play. So that first game, I felt like it's kind of one of those games where you try to take some picks and see where it goes. And obviously that was the only game we won. So
Right.
maybe it was kind of a troll by then. But.
But they took it away from you guys, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, mission accomplished.
Now that's just pretty interesting. Like, do you think, because Ole Miss has had more success in CLOL compared to NACL, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that any of that is attributed to like Fearless and Champion pools like being a little bit tighter, or is it just kind of circumstance, coincidence? Like, do you feel more worried about playing Ole Miss in non-Fearless versus playing Supernova in NACL? Because the results were very different.
That's
Obviously,
a really
there's a
interesting
different
question.
player
Yeah.
involved.
Well,
You're
I will just say
directing
the match we played them on CLOL, that was the day we had to move out. So a lot of people were up since like 8, 9 a.m. And I'll say like Zamudo, like we talked about in an interview, he was just very hungry and he didn't really get to eat much.
We did hear about that.
Like, yeah, and personally for me, like I had 2 roommates moving out like 7, 8 a.m. and this one guy wouldn't stop like blasting music. I turned off his speaker because he wasn't even there, and then he just put it outside my room. So I was like, what's happening? So I walked into that series like 4 hours of sleep, like tilted, like why did that guy do that? What? Like I was so confused. But honestly,
And then
like,
Zamudo decided to end hunger on the Jace. You know what happens? Like,
yeah, I mean, once we
he's
got
sitting
into-
over there, by the way, for all the fans at home. That's
Hey,
why we're roasting
He
Zamudo.
locked in Game 5. That's
Yeah,
all.
he did lock in Game
Once
5.
we got him food, he just started 1v9ing.
Yeah.
So maybe we got to do one of those injections tomorrow.
I'm curious about that because also we're playing at like 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's like what are your thoughts? Like, how is that going to affect you guys? Has Niles like kind of gone through a game plan of how you're going to adjust to a circumstance like that?
Yeah.
I feel like that's something he would do. Like, he's
I'll
very
say-
supportive of you guys in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like your regiments and your schedules.
I would say for me personally, I need a lot of sleep to function.
Mhm.
Like I perform best. I'm getting like literally 10 hours of sleep.
Wow.
So we
Yeah.
started prepping early. Like for the last 3 weeks, we've been waking up progressively earlier and going to the track and doing some
Dude,
laps.
that's so cool.
That's like really, I think like having a regimented schedule like that, like esports teams that do that, it's been impressive to me.
Yeah, it got a little annoying sometimes because like you get laps for your other teammates doing bad things. So I'll just go there and like I'll have to do like 2 miles and I'm just like I didn't really do anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, that's what being on a team's like. That.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Your regular sports, same thing.
But yeah, we were waking up like we started at like I don't know 11, 12, and then we got all the way down to like 8 a.m. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, like the Ravens did like a Hard Knocks episode, or
did they?
Or like it was something like that where they like in the NFL like these teams will practice like in the cold to get ready for like when they have to play in the snow, even though their their practice facilities are inside. They'll like let the
They'll,
windows
like,
in and
yeah.
the snow come in. So it's kind of like what you're doing in a different capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I gotta be ready to play it.
You guys
I'm-
have like a curfew like 10 p.m. today. Just get up in time. Or
Today?
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I've been joking about it. Like I was telling Niles, like I need to be in bed by 10 p.m. every day,
Mhm.
and then I was just in bed by like 12 every day.
I mean that's like
That's
good
like not
balance,
bad though,
right?
you know. Yeah.
Well, I can't honestly like I cannot function on that little sleep.
That's
Right.
fine.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, today I'm gonna try to sleep a lot earlier. But it's just like the way that the schedules have been last 2 days. Like, I think it's kind of impossible to get like insane sleep at least.
it's been
but-
it's been a little busy.
Yeah, today should seem like a lot more tame. So
Have you guys gotten to do any cool stuff in Raleigh, or has it mostly been, work and scrims and media?
we went out to a couple of places just for like food, and we walked around the hotel.
Cool.
Like
yeah.
around like we walked like a mile away from the hotel to check out places. But no, it's mainly just like focused, locked in.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that's cool. So the series tomorrow, is it gonna be just another 5-game banger, or like you guys gonna put them away this time?
Yeah, I feel like it should be a lot easier than last series. I think last series was probably the worst gameplay you'd see from literally all 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I think everyone was playing completely horrendous that day. Like, that was the worst league I've played, the worst league I've seen my support play, the worst league I've seen Zamudo play. Like, we were all just running it down, and honestly, that kind of gives me, like, we beat them while playing, like, completely int, and I don't know, tomorrow, like, literally the only X factor could just be that we just went through the rain, so maybe we get sick, or that someone gets bad sleep.
It's like a rain, but it's warm out, you know? So
Yeah. Hopefully,
No, it was
okay.
horrible. It was like super windy. Like you could not walk in a straight line.
And you were just going like across
Interesting.
the street to meet us, right? Like
It's
like right down the road.
it's probably like a 4 minute walk at least.
Dang.
Damn.
Yeah, and these guys, like, they're in the building scrimming here.
Guys,
they don't even
let it
gotta
be
go
known, Zamudo and Sajed braved the elements to come and speak to us today. So
And the rest of my team got to do it too once they come for tech checks. So.
Oh, true.
jeez.
Yeah,
I feel for them.
I guess overall, like, this is your first year at Maryville. It's your first year playing CLOL, right? So,
Yeah.
do you feel any sort of pressure to, like, win a title or to, like, win this? Because I know, like, Maryville's a very historic organization. They haven't won a title in a while, even though they, like, always are at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, last year, these guys were at the finals, but they weren't able to win. They came up, like, just short again. Do you feel
Yeah.
any of that as, like, a new addition, or is it more like you're just here to, you know, in your first year and, you know, continuing your pro journey mostly?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't really feel that much pressure for CLOL in particular. Honestly, like, I came here at first, I was like, I don't really care about CLOL and NACE that much. I'm just here to, like, get better, and this was the best, like, NACL team I could join, so I'm here just to try to make the LCS. But, like, seeing our staff, like Clerky, Niles, and then even like Spyrax and Psycho, like they really want the CLOL trophy, right? Like, this is something that this might be, like, for sure this is Psycho's last chance, right? And then this might be like Spyrax's last chance. This is Niles' first chance as a coach. And then I know, like, Clerky really wants this CLOL title, so I've been more locked in for CLOL and trying a lot more, definitely. But yeah, when I first came here, I was like, CLOL wasn't like even a top 3 priority in my mind, but for sure, like, right now I'm thinking like CLOL is more important than NACL spring.
Yeah,
and then my logic that
promotion involved, right?
my logic that I had is like there's 2 NACL splits, there's 1 CLOL split. So
Yeah, true.
yeah, I don't really feel much pressure to win it. I think honestly, I don't really like, it might be like cringe or cliche, but I don't really feel that much pressure to like win something. I think maybe it's because
Right.
I'm more new to this like space, so I'm not like, you know, let's say like an LCS player. Like, for example, like
Yeah.
Tactical for sure has a lot of pressure to win NACL because like he's been in LCS for like 3 years at least. But for me, I don't really feel that pressure, so, and it doesn't really affect my
Like-
mindset or gameplay.
Right now, you don't feel like you have anything to prove other than that you're just a good player, and that doesn't necessarily need to be like winning championships or
Yeah, winning or losing like a final doesn't really like detract me from what I'm working on in my goals.
Right.
So honestly, I like playing like in front of an audience in a stage. So having that high stakes kind of tournament doesn't really like get to me that much, and that's kind of just how I've always been like growing up playing. Like, I used to be in like science fair a lot, like big stages there, and then playing soccer.
So
I kind of
you
like
thrive under pressure, you know, or if the
I
pressure.
feel like everyone kind of says that, so I don't want to say like
It doesn't matter to you.
I was like, yeah, I'll just play
Yeah.
the same, and I feel like people generally play worse, and I just play like the same.
Cool. No,
Nice.
that's awesome, dude. Is it Niles gonna take you guys out for Carolina barbecue if you win?
I think for sure Clerky will take us out. Yeah.
Clerky's done.
That guy will be like so excited.
Whoever finally wins him another CLOL trophy, he's gonna that's gonna be his favorite team
Yeah.
until the next one, you know.
I mean, there's a joke that like if Shimmer wins the CLOL, like he's the starting player for the next 4 years. That's what Clerky said to him, you know.
Yeah, hey, you brought him a trophy.
I guess, kind of speaking of, not to go back to another like more serious topic or whatever, but like, I mean, there's been like, as part of being on the most talented team in the region right now, below the professional level, like, you know, UG, congratulations to him, goes to the LTA. There's talks of, oh, you know, Disguise is interested in Jalal and they're interested in Toasty, and has that sort of like environment of being looked at by pro teams and possibly having promotions happen and potential roster changes as a result of that, has that been a challenge throughout the season for the team as a whole, or has it mostly, you know, been able to be ignored and moved forward?
Yeah, for the team as a whole, definitely it's kind of been a challenge. I think like Jalal, for example, has only played with UG for the last like 3 years. So
yeah.
having him with a new jungler, definitely there's like a lot of growing pains for sure. But honestly, I came to Maryville with like, I was under the impression that UG's probably gonna get picked up before we even start NACL. Like, I was really under the impression that would happen. I was for sure thinking.
I think most people were, to be fair. I mean,
There was some stuff that got
I for sure thought Winter Split is gonna go through, and then some teams are like, all right, we need to kick this guy. Let's get UG. Like, let's get someone, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was under the impression, so I was okay coming into this environment, and then the whole like 10-man roster, I think that stuff was like very weird to me. There's a lot of stuff like obviously I can't talk about, but it was just very odd, like that whole 10-man roster, like shenanigans, and they even played like some of our matches.
So you gotta stay ready. If you're like if you have different aspirations as like that professional, or maybe there's some emphasis on like wanting to stay ready for any situation. But I could totally tell how that'd be like kind of a lot of like just very weird to like
throws off your
happen in the
rhythm
middle
of
the season.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I could see where they're coming from if it was executed differently.
That's fair.
That's kind of like my stance on the whole thing. And then honestly, I'll just talk about like working with Shimmer because he's completely brand new.
Yeah.
And I mean, most of his experience has just been like one tricking champs in solo queue and
one tricking champs in competitive.
yeah, he played on OQs. You know, it's funny. I subbed in for one of their scrims for OQs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like the thing is, I still see like a lot of what he was doing in those OQ scrims now. And honestly, I played jungle for.
Nameless randoms.
Yeah, I did play jungle for a bit. Honestly, I played jungle like for my high school league too, because I played towards the end of my high school.
Oh, sweet.
So
that was like Coic and detention, right? And
yeah,
or something like that.
Dude, how do you have this elite ball knowledge of
Yeah, I
what?
remember that.
there's a fun fact: we got eliminated by Maryville on that team as well.
Dude,
That's crazy.
so you were
Wait, what
just
the
like,
heck?
I'm gonna join them. Like,
Yeah,
then-
like,
If
I just made
if you
him, bro, I
can't
had to
beat
get
him, join him.
Yeah, I mean we did beat them in spring, but
Right.
not in summer. But yeah, then I see like a lot of things that I struggled on as a jungler. I definitely see that in Shimmer, and I try to help him with that. And sometimes I think just the way he is, he takes it like very personal, the stuff we're telling him. And then I think that definitely like affected his mental and maybe his gameplay a bit, because it's just like, honestly, when I was in OQs, like I'm sure my coaches and my teammates were saying the same exact things to me. Like every single day, I'd probably be making the same mistakes and barely like.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
got the biggest shoes to fill, of course. So anything that I feel like sticks out is going to stick out that much more just because of the situation, if I had to guess.
Yeah, maybe like from an outsider's view, and maybe he feels that kind of pressure. But I feel like as a team and me, like when I talked to him, I made it like very clear, like no one's expecting you to be like great. We're just expecting you to like use this opportunity as best you can.
Yeah.
And just play like just try your best, like. And I'm always on him. I'm always on his ass, like play solo queue. Yeah, make sure you're improving. Like you just if you look at his solo queue account
games right now.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you look at his solo account, like I'm seeing Trindamir and Olaf. Like I don't know if those champs are being locked in, but I mean, I'm always on. Like how many solo games you played today? Like I always told him, like, bro, no one's gonna flame you if your masters just playing the meta champs, trying to get better at them. Because like honestly, most of the season, like I'm hovering around like masters, grandmasters. I'll get like an account to challenger like really fast and just decay it down. And I'm just playing like the meta, working on the things that I'm told to improve on. And I told him like, if you're worried people are gonna flame you for that, just rank up the Smurf and do it, and just play the meta champs. So like I've always tried to been like very nice because I understand like how he's feeling a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I can also see where he's coming from, like how he can take it personally. Like we're just telling him the same things over and over again. So I can see how it gets to him. But
I know he's always got a huge smile on his face whenever you're talking to him like in like a casual setting. But you do feel like there's some level of pressure that maybe he's feeling.
I mean,
for sure he's definitely feeling
definitely
pressure.
The situation that he's coming into. Like
It's
a big ask. And I mean, I think always our perception from the outside is like I think Shimmer has a bright future, but he's definitely like a very raw talent. Like he's just newer to competitive than the rest of Maryville. So, but it's good to see. I mean, it's been good to see him step into the roster, and it's cool to see like, your insight into sort of some of that as well.
Yeah, but I can see where he's coming from. So I try to help him as much as I can.
Yeah.
Especially since I did play a bit of jungle, so I'm trying to like tell him what I know. But I mean, my jungle is not that good.
Well, pretty good AD, right? That's what got you here at least.
Yeah.
Sweet. I mean, that's all I got really.
Any predictions? Hey, a fun game we like to do sometimes is like, in your mind, visualize something that's gonna happen in the series. Like, don't just say like we're gonna win game 1, but like, is there a specific moment that you're like manifesting or thinking about like over and over again? Like, maybe like Shimmer invades red buff and like kills Keel and then like steals it away and then
just jumps out of his seat and starts like
you get illusion or something. Yeah.
Anything like you're envisioning right now that we can try to watch for?
I don't know. I mean, I could give you like a boring answer, like we'll swap on them when they have no idea and their game will fall apart.
Ooh,
that's like a macro thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's
I can nerd out about that.
I feel like lane swaps are gonna be very prominent in the series tomorrow.
Interesting.
And then like a prediction. So last time you guys asked me about a prediction, it was finals in spring.
Yeah,
and I was like, in my head, there was nothing I could see other than a 3-0 at that time.
It came true.
And
right? So.
that was a pretty like dominant 3-0 that we had. And then right now, like I have a similar feeling, but I do think that because we're waking up early, there's gonna be a lot of things. I think it'll be a 3-0 or a 3-1. And I'm kind of leaning towards the 3-1 just because, like, some random stuff.
Yeah, you'll give the game
a game for randomness and collegiate bullshit.
You might get some rain sickness. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really worried about this rain, huh?
Dude, that rain was horrible.
I've got an umbrella for you if you want to walk.
It looked like it calmed down.
When we get out of here, go get yourself like a nice warm shower.
Definitely will have to.
Wind on down. Yeah,
do laundry, get this out.
Get cozied up.
All right, so well, thank you so much for sitting
thanks
down
for taking the time,
any shout-outs or anything, any messages. We're going to try to post this tonight before the series goes live. So if you have any messages to the fans, shout-outs like that.
I got a small list. So I have shout out my mom. She's always supportive. You know, she's back at home. I did leave her to come to Maryville, but I'll be seeing her in a week or two.
Nice.
Shout out my brothers. My brother is in California, so he'll be watching this match at like 6 in the morning.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
I mean, he got 2 kids, so like he's probably up at that time. But like, you know, fair. Shout him out. Of course, and then shout out Rena, shout out ProDiff. You know, you can buy some of my coaching.
True.
Probably not that available right now because I got an event going on, but you know, I'll get to you
in the near future.
Yeah, and then shout out Maryville. You know, this is a great place to be.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Sajed. Appreciate it. Best of luck in the finals tomorrow.
Yeah. And
thank you. Shout out all the moms as well. My mom is sitting right over there. So,
right.
But yeah, thanks again, Sajed.
Yeah,
great talking to you as always.
Thank you so much to Sajed and maybe the Ole Miss player. I don't, again, know exactly if we're going to have time.
Maybe we got someone. Yeah.
Hopefully we got somebody. But
they said great stuff. And if they haven't, maybe tomorrow morning.
Maybe tomorrow morning they'll say great stuff, yeah.
But Sajed was great.
He was great. I mean, I remember the first time we got to talk to him, like you interviewed him before NACL finals. He was like a little bit more reserved.
Yep.
Like just being a little bit more conscious, I think. But the fact that he was very actually open about a lot of the different topics that we asked him about was really cool.
I mean, he was willing to be extremely candid about like his opinions and stuff, and like where some of the struggles have come and what a lot of the successes at Maryville has come. And I didn't want to say this in the interview, but I really do think seeing players like him, but also like so many people that have now gone through the Maryville system, like he was talking about how Maryville, like first and foremost, makes you a better person, and then, you know, I think by extension makes you a better player, by the way, which was sort of the unsaid thing that Sajed kind of put out there. But like I felt like that got put on full display in that interview, getting to chat with Sage, and so it was great. Like
I had a lot of good things to say, but again was candid that it's not going to just be a pure cakewalk. They're not a perfect team. There's going to be inconsistencies potentially.
I mean, there are struggles, you know.
Who do you have? Prediction.
Oh God! Don't do this. Don't do this to me. Look, last year I took the chalk of I think Maryville is unstoppable and is going to beat SLU. I think I said it was a 3-0. But this year, look, Maryville are the favorites, undoubtedly. But do I take Ole Miss for content? But I feel like I think the finals is closer this year. I don't think Maryville are as overwhelming of favorites. I'll take them 3-2. I think it'll be like winners finals. I'll give Ole Miss a couple games, but I think Maryville wins.
I have Maryville 3-1. It's like between 3-1 or 3-2 right now, I think. So that's my...
I definitely don't think it's a sweep. I don't think it's a sweep.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a little bit of a competitive match. People can actually wake up for the end of it at the very least, which speaking of...
No, wake up for the whole thing. Come on. I see you all out there.
10 a.m. Eastern.
Twitch.tv/Riot Game. They definitely can't see this. Guys, Twitch.tv/Riot Games, the big channel.
It'll be very easy to tune in.
It's going to be easy to find
if you wake up at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, bright and early. So make sure you check this out. Make sure you support CLOL. And again, thank you for watching, Hawk. Take us away.
Thanks, everyone, so much. Again, to everyone that's been supporting us at Salty Runback NA on all of our platforms, it means the world. At Hawkcasts, as well as at Speedy Grapes. Grapes posted a great video over some of our delectable brunch that we had this morning.
It was great.
Over in...
chicken and waffles.
What was it called? Yeah, you had some chicken and waffles.
I don't remember the
It was called something... Wow, that was an epic... Okay.
Yeah,
that
was very brave of
the place that we ate, that I really wish I remember the name of. But thanks. Raleigh's been great so far. Shout out to everybody at NC State that's been doing an amazing job. And just for all of the hospitality. It's been very fun being back somewhat home for myself. Not too far down the road from where I went to school.
We're in the Northeast. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. No, in the Northeast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most certainly not. But it is funny. You know, I say it's not too far from Elon, but very different college experience here. This campus is fucking huge.
It is.
Anyway, thanks everyone that's been tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Check us out on all of our social media. And if you think that Ole Miss wins the series, then you can take what Sajed said with a grain of salt. But I've been Hawk, that's been Grapes. Have a good night, everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Or a good morning, bright and early.